Every empire looks unshakable until the first fracture appears, and often that fracture begins in silence rather than spectacle. For the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty, the family that turned a reality television show into a global business machine, that silence came from the sister who never played by their rules. Kendall Jenner, the most reserved of the clan, has always been different. The quiet one, the mystery, the outlier in a family addicted to attention. And now, in one decisive move, she stepped away from the very spotlight that sustains them all. This isn't just another celebrity taking a break. It feels like the start of something larger, a shift powerful enough to alter the course of the empire itself. The announcement came at a moment no one expected. The setting wasn't a glitzy award show or a carefully produced Hulu scene, but an ordinary family gathering. No cameras, no lighting crews, just the Kardashians as themselves. That alone was unusual because in this family, even private dinners are potential content. But what Kendall said around that table sent a tremor through the room. She announced calmly but firmly that she wasn't coming back to the runways. She wasn't renewing any fashion contracts. She was stepping away. At first, some thought it was just the kind of pause celebrities often take to regroup. Yet her tone carried none of the temporary hesitation usually wrapped around those words. There was no promise of return, no soft landing. This was a pivot, not a pause. And in a dynasty where every move is a strategic business decision, the silence that followed her words was deafening. To understand the gravity of Kendall's decision, you need to understand her place in the Kardashian ecosystem. She was never just another sister capitalizing on the family name. She chose a different path. While Kim parlayed scandal into stardom, Khloe became the relatable one, and Kylie transformed into a beauty mogul. Kendall deliberately carved out her career on her own terms. She entered the world of high fashion, an industry notorious for its gatekeeping, and she conquered it. From Paris to Milan to New York, Kendall became one of the most sought-after models of her generation. She gave the family something they desperately needed: credibility. For years, fashion houses had looked down on the Kardashians, dismissing them as reality TV stars with no cultural weight. Kendall changed that. She brought elegance, discipline, and a sense of legitimacy that elevated the entire brand. But unlike her sisters, she never leaned into the chaos. She skipped storylines on the family's reality shows, refused to be baited into messy public feuds, and cultivated an aura of quiet mystery. Her avoidance of spectacle wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Mystery became her shield, and in a family where everyone else overshared, her restraint became a brand of its own. That same shield is now her weapon, and her retreat from the spotlight carries more weight than any scandal could. The reactions inside the family revealed just how destabilizing Kendall's move really was. Kim Kardashian, the architect of famous power, was the first to respond. To Kim, visibility is everything. Every post, every appearance, every storyline feeds the machine that keeps the family relevant and profitable. In her eyes, Kendall's disappearance wasn't just personal. It was a direct threat to the empire she has spent years constructing. Khloe, however, saw things differently. Having endured public betrayals, body-shaming headlines, and relentless scrutiny, she understood the personal cost of life in the spotlight. For her, Kendall's decision wasn't betrayal, but survival, an act of self-preservation. Then there was Kris Jenner, the matriarch and master strategist who has monetized every twist and turn in her daughters' lives. Outwardly, she supported Kendall, but behind the scenes, her mind was racing. What about contracts? What about partnerships? Could Kendall's retreat be spun into something that actually strengthened the brand? 3 women, 3 perspectives, and one undeniable truth. For the first time in years, the house felt divided. The truth is, Kendall's departure didn't come out of nowhere. The signs were there, hiding in plain sight, and we just weren't paying attention. Over the past few years, she had been quietly stepping back. She skipped episodes of the family's reality show, fading from the camera's gaze even as her sisters leaned into it harder. Her Instagram stood out as an anomaly in the Kardashian universe. While Kim and Kylie flooded feeds with curated content, Kendall posted sporadically, sometimes disappearing for weeks at a time. Even the businesses she chose reflected her independence. She launched 818 Tequila, a brand tied not to the Kardashian empire, but to her own name, her own direction. And when it came to her love life, she broke the pattern again. Her sisters built entire storylines out of romances and breakups, but Kendall kept hers largely private. Whispers about NBA stars like Devin Booker or quiet sightings with Hollywood elites filled tabloids, but she herself remained silent. That silence was never accidental, it was deliberate. Step by step, she was distancing herself, and now her exit feels less like rebellion and more like the final act of a plan she's been executing all along. Behind the glamour, Kendall has long been battling struggles few in her family seem to share. She has spoken openly about her anxiety, panic attacks so intense they left her gasping for breath, feeling like she was suffocating under the weight of expectation. For someone already wary of fame, those internal battles only grew heavier under constant attention. Then came the Pepsi ad, an ill-fated commercial that trivialized protest movements and sparked global outrage. The backlash was swift and brutal. Kendall, humiliated and overwhelmed, broke down in tears, admitting how misunderstood she felt. Though the internet eventually moved on, she didn't. The scar remained. For Kim or Khloe, scandal might have been fuel, but for Kendall, it was a wound. Each public misstep chipped away at her comfort with fame until the idea of stepping back wasn't shocking at all. It was inevitable. Her departure leaves more than just an empty runway slot. It shakes the foundation of the Kardashian-Jenner brand itself. Each sister has a role. Kim the mogul, Khloe the confessional heart, Kylie the beauty billionaire, and Kris the mastermind. Kendall's role was always different. She was the bridge to legitimacy. Through her, fashion's most exclusive doors opened for the family. Without her, that bridge collapses. What remains risks becoming too loud, too brash, too one-dimensional. Kendall's quiet elegance balanced the chaos. Without it, the brand tilts dangerously toward caricature. The world wasted no time speculating about Kendall's next chapter. Was she burned out from the relentless demands of the fashion world? Tired of constant comparison to her sisters? Or was there something larger at play? Rumors swirled almost immediately. Some insisted she was turning her full attention to 818 Tequila, determined to grow it into a global powerhouse. Others whispered that she wanted to start a family away from the cameras, prioritizing a private life over celebrity. There were even suggestions she might relocate, leaving Los Angeles altogether to live in another city, or another country, where the Kardashian name carried less weight. No one knows for sure, and that's exactly the point. Kendall's silence has always been her most powerful move. Every time she withholds, speculation multiplies, and speculation is the currency of the modern fame economy. Even in her absence, she remains inescapable. But this isn't just about Kendall. Her retreat forces bigger questions about the family itself. The Kardashian-Jenner machine works only because each member plays her role. Remove one piece and the gears grind. If Kendall proves that you can leave the spotlight and still stay relevant, what stops others from doing the same? Khloe, exhausted from years of scrutiny, might one day decide she's had enough. Kylie, now raising 2 children, could eventually prioritize privacy over publicity. And if the dominoes fall, the empire cracks. For a family that sells visibility as survival, the idea that one can walk away without disappearing completely is more threatening than any scandal. For many fans, Kendall's move feels less like retreat and more like rebellion. A quiet defiance against the unspoken rules that have defined her family's existence. While Kim and Kylie chase billionaire status, Kendall seems to be chasing something far more elusive: peace. For years, the Kardashians have sold a narrative that fame equals freedom. Kendall is rewriting that story. She's proving that freedom might come from silence, from privacy, from absence. Her refusal to play by the family script could redefine what it means to be a Kardashian-Jenner in the modern world. The future is wide open, and that's what makes her decision so compelling. She could build a lasting business legacy through 818 Tequila, creating something far more enduring than fleeting reality show fame. She could turn toward philanthropy, leveraging her platform for causes close to her heart while living outside the glare. Or she could disappear entirely, leaving the world to speculate while she enjoys a life unchained from the cameras. Whatever she chooses, one thing is clear. She won't be following her sister's path. Kendall is playing a different game, one where silence speaks louder than any headline and absence carries more weight than constant exposure. This moment feels like more than a personal choice. It feels like a turning point. For the Kardashian family, it's a warning. Their empire thrives only as long as every member stays inside the machine, feeding it with visibility and drama. Kendall's departure shows that the machine isn't unbreakable. It reveals that even the most carefully constructed empires can be shaken from within. For Kendall herself, it's liberation, proof that walking away can be more powerful than staying. The question isn't whether Kendall will return. It's whether she even needs to. Because sometimes the strongest move isn't fighting for the spotlight. It's proving you can live without it. And in that silence, Kendall Jenner may have made the loudest statement of her career.